Viewer discretion is advised.
In this video, we're going to hear from a man who claims that we somehow forgot things before they were born. How? Why? Who knows? Here we go. Let's start this show.
What if there were 10 things you agreed to before you were born, but you literally forgot about it? And what if these...
Well, then I would love to know what the heck they are. Can someone please give me a list? Because I would definitely be interested. Oh boy. Anyway, this is Aaron Doty, a man who claims to make spirituality practical and relatable. He claims to help people raise their vibration and claim the life of their dreams by, quote, helping you become more aware of who you are and your potential. He emphasizes spirituality, philosophy, and especially the law of attraction, and really just spews the latter and makes it the former.
10 rules, these 10 things you forgot, simply becoming aware of them would completely transform your life from the inside out. Now, even just one of these rules, when I learned it, completely changed the way that I show up. I started treating people in a different way because I understood what they really were. I started also embodying my energy in a different way, which...
So here we go. This is the typical law of attraction spew. He starts talking about all the magical things that happened when he supposedly adopted these beliefs. It did everything. It turned his life around. It gave him wealth. It gave him love. It changed his underwear for him. The story goes on, and you can literally see it in every single person that shills the law of attraction.
Had people responding to me in a new way because I literally had...
God, those smiles are just fucking creepy. I don't know, but the guy behind me is also really creepy, too. Like, look, they're all really just freaking creepy. Look at them. Like, what kind of smiles are those? Those are like serial killer smiles or something. They're like, Jesus, they're just evil.
A higher level of awareness. Now the thing
no, it's not a higher level of awareness, it's a higher level of bullshitting.
Is when I was kept in the dark about these 10 rules for most of my life, I was in a way not aware of who I really was, what everyone else was in my reality, and therefore I felt lost. I felt stuck because...
The funny thing about the law of attraction and the people that shill it is that their stories are always so familiar. I was lost. I was depressed. I was not having a good time in life. Then I read about the law of attraction, and now all of a sudden I'm the happiest person in the world. It's the same story over and over again. And I'm sure some of you in the audience right now who you are atheists that used to identify as Christians will probably know a similar story. I was lost. I was depressed. I had no idea what I was doing with my life. And then one day I found Jesus. And I read the Bible. And I got on my knees. And I prayed to Jesus. And I became a Christian on whatever day. And now I want to help others be Christian. Law of attraction pretty much runs on the same philosophy as Christianity. There, I just explained how the law of attraction and Christianity are related.
I didn't understand the power of the 10 rules I'm about to share with you. So even just one of these rules, if you internalize it, I believe will make this video completely worth it for you. And I want to share with you the 10...
But now we're going to get into the fine print about these things. The thing is, yeah, he might describe these rules really well, but there's nuance, as Sonia would not say. There's ways that make it seem like they aren't working because of things you're totally not doing.
Rules that if life was a game, these would be the rules. These are the agreements, the things we forgot before we came here that completely change everything. This actually comes from a book called If Life is a Game. These are the rules. And
now we're going to completely rip off a self-help book. Great.
These really shifted my own consciousness. I want to share these with you so that you can kind of see your life from a higher perspective, and it may help you flow through your day and even your life in a very different way. So first off, it's very simple. You will receive a body.
Oh my God, he's right! I did receive a body! Mind blown!
The avatar from which you are experiencing your reality is through the body, which is interpreting the five senses.
So he's going to probably go into what's called a soul contract at some point. A soul contract in New Age culture is basically you agree to XYZ things that will happen in your life, and then when you were born, XYZ things will happen in your life. Which is really weird because those same people will also show the law of attraction that says that we attract everything that happens into our lives. So how can we agree to have these things happen already in our lives and then somehow have to work to attract these same things into our lives? It makes no frickin' sense.
So in essence, you are an eternal spiritual being that has come into this reality using the avatar of a body. And what happens is this second rule. You will receive lessons. You are enrolled full-time.
You'll receive lessons. Interesting. Hey, I got a question. Let's say that you're a mom and you gave birth to a kid. Kid's not there health-wise. So the kid lingers around a couple weeks, and then 3 weeks later, the kid dies in your arms on New Year's Eve. What lessons did the kid learn? Answer that question for me, please. What lessons does a stillborn infant get? What lessons do kids who are killed as children get? You can't just assume everybody on here is going to learn lessons or learn anything. In fact, they could be dead moments after that they are born. The US has a pretty damn high mortality rate for being a supposed first world country. You can't just claim everybody's going to get lessons. And I'm sure he'd probably twist himself out of it by saying that we just came in there for like 3 seconds to reincarnate or something, but he would have a pretty hard way of proving that.
In an informal school called life. So we come here, we have a body, and we come here to experience certain lessons in our life that will help us grow as a spiritual being. The third one, there are no mistakes.
Yeah, there are no mistakes, except for creating this video.
Only lessons.
Only lessons. Only lessons. I wonder if Timothy McVeigh learned a lesson.
How many times do you beat yourself up thinking, I made a mistake?
Because you made a mistake. This person has clearly never worked in law, or medicine, or any high-stakes environment. Because, my friend, you can and do make some pretty fucked up mistakes. And they're going to suck.
I should have done this differently.
Yes, you should have, in many cases.
Done this differently.
And you can argue, yeah, that they were lessons in a way, but they're still mistakes, dude. Especially when you get something like ADHD or autism, where you constantly make social mistakes or other mistakes because your brain can't understand properly or has other issues performing correctly.
Those weren't mistakes or problems. They were lessons, things you actually learned from it that help you to evolve your own consciousness and, in a way, upgrade to a higher level of awareness.
Higher level of awareness.
Lessons are repeated until they are learned.
Right here. That is a scary thing to think about. That you are stuck in the same lesson over and over again until you learn whatever the hell it is that you're supposed to learn. And what exactly is it that you're supposed to learn? In some cases, yes, it's obvious. But not always. In a lot of cases, you're left wondering what the hell are you supposed to do? And you may even wonder sometimes if you ever made the right decision. You might wonder if you made if you had made another decision, if things would have been different. Something that you would have to think about for the rest of your life.
This one's a little bit sometimes uncomfortable. So it means,
not to mention wrong, but go on.
If you don't get the lesson, you repeat it. I've had this happen many times in my life.
But sometimes we don't even know what the fucking lesson is. That's the disturbing part. How can you understand what it is that's being taught when you don't even know what the whole purpose of what you're being taught is? It's like someone does it. It's like you're in class and someone throws a piece of paper on your test and say, do it. What's it? What is it that you want me to do? You're not teaching me anything. You're just making me figure shit out for myself.
Or maybe I was attracting someone into my life and I would refuse to look at what this is actually showing me. But instead what I did is I would put it to the side, not deal with it, and then attract someone else that has that same exact energy.
I don't deny that that can happen, but that's not always the case. He's talking in literal black and white. Maybe he needs to speak to Sonia Choquette about this stuff because it sure sounds like he could learn a lesson about black and whiteness.
Are there any ways in your own life that you have attracted things and then once you got the lesson, left your life?
Yeah, that's not always the case. That's not always the case in every circumstance, I'm afraid. But go on.
I know for me, honestly, once I forgave certain people in my life, it was like certain people were in my life to serve a purpose.
Forgiveness is always a good thing, but it's not always an obligation. There are some people that you should never forgive for what they've done. I'm sure you probably know a few people in your life personally. I'm not going to name anyone specific to me, but there's definitely people all over the place that you don't want to forgive, and you don't need to forgive.
Once I got the lesson, I didn't have to repeat it. Number 5, learning lessons do not end. If you're alive, that means there's still lessons to be learned.
So I bring it right back to my original hypothetical. What happens when you have a kid? When you're a kid, you only live to be 3 weeks old, and then you die. What lessons have you learned in that span of time? What lessons have you learned as a stillborn child? Because I'm guessing you've had no opportunity to learn that. You could argue that maybe the mother has learned something if you want to be a dick, and I assume you probably would be, but we're not talking about the mother. We're talking about the kid here.
A lot of times there are people that do not, or there are people that believe that if they are here, sometimes, honestly, this is going to sound kind of dark, but people that are suicidal sometimes think maybe I've experienced everything I meant to do coming here.
Okay, we're going someplace we probably shouldn't, dude.
Or not even that, maybe they just don't want to be here anymore. But what
Dude, shut the hell up right the fuck now.
happens is there's a desire to escape this reality. The challenge, and the thing is as an eternal spiritual being,
Dude, do not make me debunk this.
I believe what ends up happening is it ends up creating much more work for the soul.
Citation needed. I mean, yeah, suicide, bad. This is going down the road that Teal Swan has gone down, who, I know she said stuff about suicide. I don't think that she's pro-suicide personally. Not because I think that because of any good reason. It's because if her followers were committing suicide, that would mean less profit and less influence for her. But she does seem to have an unusual fixation on this. And it's like he's bringing up suicide in such a weird way to make it sound like it's something that's like semi-acceptable. I don't think he's going that way, but come on, dude. You really should not have brought that up in this video.
It's a way of getting out immediately, but then you have to maybe even be born into another body and go through the same exact 20, 30, 40, 50 years of experience to get to the same spot to continue to learn the lesson.
And how do we know that these are lessons that are being learned? Because I don't have a reference level. I can't just go back to my own brain and say, or my own soul and go, oh yeah, we're supposed to learn this lesson in my last one, but I did something stupid and so here I am. We don't get to do that. We don't have proof of this. And for you to claim that there is absolutely ridiculous.
So it's about understanding that if you're here, there's a reason you're here, there's lessons to be learned.
No, none of that. First off, citation needed, but I know you can't prove that already, so no. There is no rhyme and reason to the reason that we have here. There is no rhyme or reason to humanity. There is no rhyme or reason to the universe. Anyone who was a former Christian can tell you that a teleological concept, which is the whole idea that the universe has a purpose, simply cannot be. It has no purpose. It just is. And so are we.
And sometimes those lessons may involve feeling emotions that feel uncomfortable, But the more that you feel it, the more that you heal it, the more that you allow yourself to learn the lesson and to process the past. The number 6, there is no better than here.
What the fuck does that even mean?
There is no better than here. This moment right now is where you want to be.
Are you sure of that? Are you absolutely sure of that? I got an idea, pal. Why don't I take you to Skid Row? I'll take you to Skid Row in downtown LA. I'm going to take you to Skid Row. You can come up to the people that live there, and you tell them what you just said right now. I dare you. We can make this happen. Shoot me a DM on Twitter. Shoot me a DM anywhere. We'll make this happen. I will have you go down there, and you can preach this nonsense to them. Let's see how far you get.
Most of our life, we're looking to the future. We're trying to escape where we are to get somewhere else. When we absorb into this moment right here.
I mean, is it not bad? Is it not good to have plans about the future? I don't see where we're getting at here.
And we realize it's about the journey. It's about the process. It makes things so much easier. Like when I'm making this video right now, if I'm making this video to get to the end so that I can get it over with so I can do something else, you'll feel that.
I'm definitely feeling that. I want to get through this video so I can get over it, but I also want to completely debunk whatever spewing nonsense you've got left in the next 50% of whatever freaking video you've got.
But I want to be here, right now with you. And
I don't want to be with you, but I guess here we are.
Being here, you probably feel there's more present energy than if I was trying to escape. Now, number 7.
I'm trying to escape right now, believe me.
7. Other people are merely mirrors of you.
No. Bullshit. Nope. This is one thing that I absolutely despise about Law of Attraction shills. The idea, he could probably go on to a concept that I hear Joe Vitale talk about a lot, which is that if you hate somebody, if you hate a person, it's because there's a part of them that you hate about yourself. So, I'll say it. I hate Teal Swan. Is it because there's a part of me that's a narcissistic cult leader inside? I don't think so. Otherwise, I would have tried that already, I think. So, no, I think you're wrong, and I'm pretty certain this guy's wrong too.
You cannot love or hate something about someone unless it reflects to you something you love or hate about yourself.
Exactly. I knew he was gonna go and do this. No, it doesn't work about that. Following that reasoning, there's a part of him that I would hate about myself. So, I mean, you could argue it could be my former New Age self, but honestly, I've come to accept that part of my life already. So, wrong again.
Holy shit.
Holy shit-a-roni.
Other people are just mirrors. If you dislike someone else, or someone else triggers you in some way, there's something about it within you, otherwise it wouldn't be active.
That is absolutely not the case. There are people that are just absolutely abhorrent people out there that don't act like me at all. I mean, Kent Hovind, for example. Hello, my name is Kent Hovind, and the only thing I hate more than atheists are taxes. Like, serious. And domestic violence laws. Like, seriously, the guy is one of the people that infuriates me when I hear him. I don't think I have anything in common with Kent Hovind. Do you?
This one's definitely hard to look at sometimes. You're telling me that the thing that I hate about this person or the thing that triggers me about this person is also in me? I don't want to hear that. No, I'm so different than them. But really, it's the energy and the denial that exists.
Okay, wait. Hang on a second here. So, I have the same energy as Kent Hovind and Teal Swan. Is that what we're getting at here? The same energy? No, I don't think we're going down that road. And are you saying that the mere fact that I'm denying that that there's a part of Kent Hovind I think is part of me means that there actually is something that's a part of me that's also a part of Kent Hovind? Because no, that doesn't work either, because following that reasoning, everybody would be related to everybody in that way.
Inside to begin with. This is something that's sometimes hard to look at, but when you realize everyone else is a mirror, it's then not how do I change everyone else, it's how can I change myself.
Yes, apparently, and when we change ourselves, somehow everybody else magically changes. Yeah, that's not the case. If that was the case, every domestic abuser, every parent who was an abuser, would also magically change. That doesn't happen.
Now 8, what you make of life is up to you. You have all the tools and resources you need. What you do with them is up to you. So
yeah, no. Privilege, oppression, we already covered all of that nonsense, but I'll go ahead and reiterate it again since we got a few viewers here. Yes, a good chunk of your life you are in control of, but there is a lot that you are not in control of. For example, privilege, oppression. If you have mental problems that you've had since birth that you had no control over, that's something you can't have, that you can't control. Do you think we want autism? Do you think we want to have ADHD? No, we don't want them. I mean, some might, but for a lot of people, those disorders can be incredibly debilitating. So, yeah, no. It's not everything is in our control. He will go on to claim that everything is, that 100%, because that's a typical thing that law of attraction people do. Because again, they're all part of the Calvinist work ethic.
Everything in life is fundamentally neutral, other than the meaning you give it. You have the tools and the resources within you to tap into whatever power exists within inside of you to make the change in your life. It's only when we believe I don't have power or I don't have that of the resources that we then experience that reality. That's why Tony Robbins says this a lot. It's not about having...
Yes, Tony Robbins, one of the biggest charlatans on the planet, someone who himself is extremely privileged, is saying that we just need to work harder, be more resourceful. Yeah, if that was the case, almost every fucking person in the United States would be a billionaire now. That doesn't seem to be happening. I'm willing to bet that it's not because we're not working hard.
The resources, it's about being resourceful. You can figure out just about anything if you put your mind to it.
No. Like, I have a problem where if I look at math problems, like, my brain just goes into a stall. Like, it is incredibly difficult for me to calculate even simple equations, let alone something like calculus or trigonometry or something like that. Some things we just simply cannot do. A lot of people are technophobes. A lot of people hate handwriting. I hate handwriting. My handwriting is shit. It's always has been shit. We have things that we are good at, and we have things that we suck at. And even if you try to put your mind to something, sometimes it's just not enough.
For example, I know this, like I do these challenges, these things for full-time purpose where we teach people how to go full-time doing what they love. And you know, when I first got on YouTube, I didn't know how to edit. I could have said, I don't know how to edit, I'm not gonna make videos. I went on YouTube.
Yeah, he's completely going down a straw man right now. There are things, yeah, when you start doing certain things, you're not gonna know how to do them. But eventually you'll learn how to do them. Or, let's say you still struggle with learning how to edit. Well, you probably won't end up being a YouTuber then. Or at least a good one, unless you want to just stream Twitch or stream live streams or anything like that. But it's not cut and dry like that. Sometimes people struggle with learning new things, and sometimes they end up dropping out. There's no shame in that.
And I became resourceful. I realized there are YouTube videos that show people how to edit, just about for every program. So I said, I have iMovie on Mac. How do I edit using iMovie? I learned how to edit. But sometimes I see when we're doing these challenges, people get so blocked because there's one little block and they're like, oh, I couldn't do the homework because of this. It's like, go to YouTube and figure it out. You can figure out just about anything online.
Yeah, I mean, that is a thing, but sometimes there's really niche things that aren't. And sometimes, even with the power of YouTube, you're still going to struggle. I still remember a time that me and my dad were trying to fix my car, and we were following a YouTube video, and we still continued to struggle. This guy managed to fix the problem that my car had in like 5 minutes, and it took us the better part of 3 hours to figure out. So, that doesn't just... We can't just open up a YouTube video for everything and then just magically have it all figured out. It doesn't work that way.
And when people realize that, they're like, well, I didn't do this because I didn't know how to do the graphic design for Canva. You go in and you can figure it out by going on YouTube. So be resourceful.
Okay, no. Not everybody can be an artist. No. Not everyone can be Picasso. Not everybody can be Leonardo da Vinci. I can't draw for shit. I can Photoshop, yes. I can, kind of sort of code. But drawing, I have always sucked at. Even when I've tried to learn how to do it, it was still a struggle for me. It was incredibly difficult. Some things are just too difficult for people to do. That's why I'm a paralegal. That's why I'm doing YouTube. And that's why I'm not doing quantum physics, because that stuff would blow up my brain.
Realize YouTube is the analogy for like your own power of reality. There are people, if you could bust through the fear of talking to other people, you could ask somebody else on social media, how do you do this? Anyone know how to do this? Can you show me how to do this on Zoom real quick? Probably somebody would help you.
Somebody. Maybe. I'm willing to bet this guy definitely would probably help you learn things. He would definitely help you how to take control of your life if you were to motivate him sufficiently, if you get my drift. That's the thing. Those people aren't willing to teach anything for free. They want something for nothing. They don't want something for nothing. Even a free YouTube video, they want hits. They want influence, usually. That's why they post the video in the first place.
So, be resourceful. Now, 9, the answers to life's questions lie within you.
Well, I suppose that's better than the answers to life's questions lie within the Bible, but go on.
All you need to do is look, listen, and trust. Everything exists inside of you.
Okay, yeah, so he's kind of talking about intuition here. Intuition is a iffy thing. Intuition relies on your own cognitive biases, for one thing. And your cognitive biases and your own observations and your own experiences mean that sometimes you can have an interpretation of something that isn't actually the case. But your intuition is telling you this based off of your own lenses that you've constructed in your life. So, no, your intuition isn't always right. This new job that I was at, I was reading stuff that made me really scared about going there. It seemed like a really micromanaging place, and as it turns out, it's an amazing place that I'm working at. I'm absolutely loving it. So, no, your intuition isn't always right. But I'm sure if I brought that up, he'd probably say something like, well, it's obviously because you don't trust it all the way, or something like that. Because there's always an excuse with people like him.
I've been learning this more and more with meditation. I've been focusing on getting better and better at leading guided meditation. So I've been doing crap loads of meditations. And a lot of these meditations look into the subconscious mind. And what they do is they're different permission slips for unveiling different things that already exist inside. For example,
Citation needed.
If I got you into a meditative state, or we got into a meditative state together, because that's honestly what it is too. Are
you inviting me to smoke weed or something? Because that's what it sounds like you're doing.
Into the meditative state, and it's like we're both in it. And I were to tell you to imagine your higher self in front of you, giving you that of a piece of paper. On this piece of paper, there's a word that's written that represents the limiting belief that's holding you back.
And that word is John Cena or something.
You took this piece of paper and you opened it up. What does it say?
It says kill the video, which I'm not going to do because we still got some time left on this.
Now maybe right now, something comes to you. Maybe not. Maybe you got to be in a meditative state and we got to do a whole meditation for it.
So it could come to us, it might not. It may not. Who knows? Everything is different. And everything he says could be something he says and does not say. That's what it starts to get like to me. Because this is how he tries to cover his own ass. It is, but it also isn't. It's a part of you, but it also isn't a part of you. It could be this, but not necessarily a part of this. He's wishy-washy in this way to try to waive any form of responsibility when things go south. Because again, he's going to try to spin that back on you when his teachings aren't working for you.
But many times people will have an experience where their higher self gives them this piece of paper, they open it up and they see, oh, I'm unworthy. That's the thing that's holding me back the most. Now the answer,
what may be worthy of watching this garbage,
was within them the whole entire time. That was just unveiling the subconscious mind. Subconscious still means it's there. Sub means under.
Yeah, but I think there's a little bit more of an expansion to sub than just that.
Conscious, under the consciousness, awareness. It's there, the light hasn't been shined on it to become aware of it.
Okay, I think that's like 5 New Age things that he's touched on. Light, consciousness, meditation. I don't think he said vibration or frequency. Okay, maybe 3 things, but yeah, go on.
Now, many times in meditation, I've done these different exercises, become aware of these things inside of myself. And using that of meditation, the subconscious mind, it allows me to become aware of it. And I realize it's always there. So what is the 10th rule? The answers to life questions lie within you. All you need to do is look, listen, and trust. That was number 9. Let's go to number 10.
Oh, here we go.
This one's great.
Oh boy.
I said, oh.
I'm so excited. I bet you can totally see the excitement on my face. See the excitement on my face as we look forward to whatever inspirational porn that this question number 10 is going to potentially be. I wonder. I literally wait with bated breath and anticipation and bells on my toes. What could be rule number 10?
Oh, this is a rule coming up in a minute. This is the last one. Number 10, you will forget all of this at birth.
Wow! Seriously, that is the biggest load of crap. Why the hell are you telling us all of this stuff, first off? It's because the implication seems to be that if we're going to be forgetting all of this at birth, then we're not supposed to know any of this stuff. So why are you telling us this? I'm sure you've probably broken some cardinal rule about the universe now. So congratulations, moron!
You will forget who you are so that you can go through the process of life of remembering who you are and remembering these rules.
So we'll forget who we are so we can remember who we are. Then why forget about ourselves in the first place? That literally makes no sense.
So, which of these rules did you most need to hear?
None of them.
Which of these rules did you most need to literally remember?
Holy shit, I'm completely tan in one arm and on the other. But oh my god, like, no.
As you remember these rules, you give yourself the ability to allow yourself to
take very liberal commas,
increase your own level of consciousness, because then you see things from a higher perspective, and let go of the limiting beliefs and the limiting stories that you bought into for so long. Which of these 10 rules was the one you most needed to hear?
Rule 0.